To our Communities in Bloom meeting for June the 16th. I'm the chairman, Carl, and if everybody, just for Jason's benefit, if everybody wants to just quickly identify who you are, I can start with the lady to my left here.
Okay. Hi, I'm Darcine Brooke Bagnall, married to this guy here, so. And longtime member too, I might add. So who's next?
I've got Mona on the picture here. So Mona.
Okay, Jason, it's Mona Boyd, horticulture 4-person. Haven't met you in person before, but it's a pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Nice to see you again.
Anne Marie.
Hi, Jason. Anne Marie. I'm the Ward 3 counselor, so I'm probably the newest member to this coming in through the by-election, but I'm hoping I can create space to get everyone involved and connect to different activities across the city through Communities in Bloom, and we can put some really nice spotlights on this this year. And I'll tag Dorothy.
Oh, I think you're muted, Dorothy.
Dorothy, you're muted still.
Hello,
There
Oh,
you go.
good.
There you go.
Yeah.
you're a general member.
General member. Okay, then. So I'm just wondering if we should wait a couple more minutes for Adriana. It's
Did she respond?
about 4:07. I know she's usually sometimes a little bit late with her work and stuff.
Jason, are you okay to wait a couple minutes?
Yeah, I'm fine to wait.
Okay, thank you.
Because Adrienne is sort of the one that sort of spearheaded our or kicked us off into the bus shelter areas. So we could just give her about maybe one minute, and then we'll start to proceed. I guess, Brandy, you're not hearing anything from Adriana yet?
Sorry, my camera wouldn't go off.
Oh.
No, actually, I hadn't heard anything from her about whether or not she was going to be here. But
Okay.
she's usually always here. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
like you said, Chair Carl, she might be running a little bit late.
yeah. Okay, well, maybe we can get started then, and hopefully she can join us. Just we don't have any presentations, but the first discussion item we have is the 2.1, which is the bus stop rooftop pollinator gardens. And Mona, did you want to start off just sort of doing a little bit of a intro to what we're doing?
Well, what it was, Jason, is that's why I reached out to you. Actually, Steve rose first, and then he directed me to touch base with yourself. Just in regards in that, what could we do? What couldn't we do? The possibility, you were very helpful by sending out some information, and pics, and that definitely, helped as well. I didn't even realize that we were doing some, solar on top of the rooftops of the bus shelter. So that was, new for me too. So I appreciate that. And I guess, we're here to learn. I know that like that what we'd love to be able to do, but what can and can't we do? I think that that would be feasible. And, after reading your notes in that, it's brought awareness in that, I think, to all of us, like what is happening behind the scenes, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and mainly I'm not sure what we can do really. This came up about a year ago through the Active Transportation Committee. And we never actually went to the committee with that information, I don't believe, but we had provided them similar information that I'd provided to this committee. Mainly, like, I guess, first of all, like from our research, when we looked at it last year, and then I looked at it a little further again this year, some more. The main part was like, we didn't really see anyone doing this in North America, where there's the shelters with the gardens on top, I guess you could say is the most straightforward way of saying it. I think it's a great thing. Like believe me, I went to environmental engineering for school, so I'm all about supporting green, solutions. And I've seen it actually in York Region has a transit garage with literally a park on top, right? So there's solutions out there that people have looked at for specifically for bus shelters. I haven't been able to find anybody doing it in our kind of climate area, and I think mainly because when I talked to our shelter manufacturer, they had said like they really only sold them to areas in the southern United States, like California area type areas where they don't get the really cold temperatures. And the main thing that they had said was the frost expansion with whatever you put in the top of the shelter. There was a worry around whether or not they can build something that can last, I guess you could say. So they didn't want to give any kind of warranty on anything. They basically said they could build us something if you wanted to try it, but they wouldn't give us any warranty on it. Like basically, because they just don't know if they can build something or engineer something that would survive through what would have to be survivable in our climate. And as well, they didn't want to really provide any information on what you should plant or not plant there or whatever. It was really just we can provide it for you, we'll sell it to you. It'll probably cost you double the cost of a regular shelter, and we can't give you a warranty on it. Is basically what we got from them. In that sense, is there any kind of background to where this came from exactly? Is there a lack of green space in Barrie, or is there just kind of you thought it was an innovative idea that you thought maybe Barrie could look at?
Definitely an innovative idea, personally for me. And we thought, maybe it's an opportunity, to just kind of kickstart a program similar. That's what happening. I think it was in the UK and places like that is really very successful. And I just thought that, it would be great. And Adriana, who hasn't joined us yet, hopefully she can. She's the one that brought it forward. And and I just wasn't aware that we were actually, and it was weird because after you mentioned about the solar panels, you have some already set up here in Barrie, don't you?
Yes, we currently, any new shelters that we purchase come equipped now with solar panels, and we have now lights inside of any of our new shelters. And that's just to provide more lighting for safety at night and that type of thing. Also with our advertising shelter contract, they'll be switching out all the advertising shelters in the next few years with new ones, and they're all going to have solar panels on top with interior lighting. So the availability of shelters with nothing on the roof, so to say, will become less and less as we move forward with infrastructure replacements.
Okay.
Thank you for
Yeah, because
that.
it was Adriana who brought it up. She had quite a number of different examples from all over Europe.
Well, she went to
Um,
Holland, I
And,
think.
and Holland was specifically the one,
Yeah,
that had had developed it quite a bit. And she had some pictures. I don't know if they got sent on to you or not, with regards to, the different ideas that they had over there these pollinator beds, but that was we kind of tossed that one around because of the bees and people being allergic to bees and stuff. That's not necessarily what you probably want, but there was all other kinds of plants and stuff that could be there that weren't necessarily attractive to bees, but would,
like sedums.
sedums and that kind of thing that would work.
Yeah, no, I think that would be a great idea if we were to pilot something like that. It would be, something that you wouldn't want to attract bees. Currently, if we have any kind of beehive or anything like that in any of our shelters, it's kind of a emergency scenario, and we send our bus stop maintenance staff immediately there to remove it. So,
Right.
we wouldn't want to attract bees to places where people are standing and waiting. And that was another concern. But yeah, I did see a number of images. I even saw buses with gardens on top. You know, that would help for, like, I guess, bee transportation, but you know, it is very innovative. I mean, I spent a little bit of time myself in Europe, and yeah, they are very ahead of the game over there on a lot of things, and I'd love to be able to do more of what they're able to do over there. I think there are just really, with this type of solution, there are restrictions related to our climate. That being said, I mean, if my director tells me go buy one, I can't. I'm going to do what he tells me to do, right? But
Jason, may I ask you a question?
yeah,
Who's your director? Okay.
that'd be
She's got him
Brent.
on speed dial.
Yeah.
Just joking.
That'd be Brent Forsyth. He's our director.
Of course, yes.
Well,
I do-
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Darcy?
No, I was just going to say that it is a great idea still. And I was just wondering if there was someplace else that we could kind of apply that technology. So I'm thinking more maybe the garden sheds for some of the community gardens. And just as a reference source, I have a book here called Building Green, a complete how-to guide for alternative building methods. And one of them is called Living Roofs. It's an excellent book. And on page 485, they go into the whole thing with the roofs. I was going to say this, there's some legitimate concerns and everything with the climate that we have here, but my understanding is they've used this method in Scandinavia quite a bit, practically since the beginning of time. And there are some buildings actually, like on Vancouver Island, that have the whole roof done in grass or whatever, and goats actually live up there. So maybe there's another application rather than necessarily the bus shelters. So I'm just throwing that out there too, because I think it would be great if we could be sort of the forerunners in some, innovative kind of answers to some of our building kind of stuff around the city. So maybe, I don't know, if Living Green even, or somebody like that, when we do go to put a bus shelter up, might be interested in picking up
Or
the torch.
Or garden shed.
Yeah, the garden shed,
Garden sheds,
sorry,
yeah.
yeah, might also, they might be somebody to sort of contact as well. Because I can see what the issues are for the bus shelters. You really do sort of have to be an engineer to put it together. And I think, and Adriana's idea was to redirect water and make better use of water, perhaps. Like there would be runoffs and everything else that could be collected and that sort of thing. So it's a great idea, and maybe we're not ready to move forward with it now, but maybe at some other point in time, for a public space. Because don't we have a garden on top of our water treatment plant down in the south end?
Yeah, in the water treatment plant, isn't it grassed over on one set section of its roof?
There was an initial installation when it first went in and as a green roof over there.
Right.
Yeah.
And is
yeah.
it still there, or we haven't been back for so many years, but
I think it's still there. I just, I'm sorry, we don't have, we don't do the maintenance with it.
Right.
But I do believe that they periodically get a group in to go through it. I confirm that up for sure.
Mhm.
Okay.
But it's encouraging that you're going to go ahead and put the solar panels on top of the shelters. I think that's great too. So this,
as well as our new transit terminal that we're looking to build.
Mhm.
We're trying to make that net zero. So it's going to have quite a bit of solar panels as well, and be a net zero energy facility. So that's kind of something else to kind of note with the solar panels.
That's
That's
great.
fantastic.
yeah.
So Jason, would that be something that, say when the judges do come to town, which is the 26th, 27th, and they actually depart on the 28th, would that be something that you would want to join us, like at a function, just a small intimate function, to maybe talk about, like what you're thinking, forward and whatnot? Would that be something that you'd be comfortable with, or if I was to reach
Sorry,
out?
what was this exactly? Is it
Um, Yeah, it would be just, just really and truly just, to tell the judges, from your point of view, exactly, things in that there that, that you're proposing within your department, that, that's, it's going to be an opportunity in that there to move forward with, green initiatives and whatnot. So I just wondered, would that be something that you would consider if I was to extend an invitation when the judges are in town?
when was the date of that?
It's they arrive on July the 26th, and they're with us on the 27th. So possibly on the 27th, if you could check your calendar, and it's very, it'd be really informal in that. But it would be great, like if you could share that, even if it, even if it was, like in a morning function, or an evening one.
Yeah, I'd be interested to, if you want to send me an invite, I'm always happy to talk transit for sure. So
Awesome.
anything, just as a lot of people in our department here, have mentioned, it's hard to get me to stop talking about transit, but
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's very important.
I'm just thinking too, like Mona, if, and Jason, if we've already got, by that point, I've already got one or two bus stops that will already have the solar on, we can just take the judges out and show them
Yeah.
exactly what we've got.
Well, I was
Yes.
wondering, yeah.
Like a little other known facts, like when it comes to environmental sustainability, that things you may not know about ferry transit is, and this isn't anything we did specifically, but just in bus manufacturing, in the last 10 years, buses have come equipped with electric fans. Prior to that, all the fans on buses were hydraulically propelled, which required basically the engine to power.
Right.
And now all the buses, and we've been doing this now for 10 years, but no one ever talks about it, is that, by powering the fans on the buses electrically, you save about 10 to 12% in fuel per year. So
Wow.
it's a lot of them actually call it a mini hybrid system.
Oh,
So just little known facts about transit. Like when I was in Banff, the town of Banff, prior to Barrie, we bought all hybrid buses. And with hybrid buses, which cost double the price of a regular bus, at that time, back in 2007, we were only seeing about 10 or 11% fuel savings by buying hybrid buses, because they bought all these hybrid buses, but then they realized they had all these mountains to go up and down, and so they weren't getting the fuel savings that you thought. So with hybrid buses, we were only seeing 10, 11% fuel savings, and now buses today are just 10, 11% more fuel efficient than they were over 10 years ago. So there's a little unknown facts about transit that also help the environment that people may not know, right? So
Yeah, that would be great to bring
Yeah.
to the forefront,
Yeah.
let the
for
judges
sure.
know about it. I think.
Can I jump in on a couple of thoughts and ideas before we lose Jason? I'm not sure what your timeline's like, but I don't want to miss the opportunity to ask you some follow-up questions.
Sure.
Well, I guess one right on the topic is our whole fleet currently operating with electric fans?
yeah.
Yeah, so we're already there with 100% of the fleet?
Yeah, as of 2011. So,
Mm-hmm.
and now our oldest bus is a 2011 bus. So yeah, as of actually starting last January, when our last 6 buses arrived and we replaced our 2009 buses. Now everything's fully, I guess, mini hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I had a question building on Darcine, your comments about what else could we do in maybe sheds. I was also wondering, because I've had different conversations with Living Green and then being on the Active Transportation and Sustainability Committee. And I was in the Eastview Community Garden this morning. And
Yeah.
although there's water hookups in most of our community gardens, you're still trekking the water a fair ways, depending on the hookup, but also, wouldn't it be great if most of the water gardeners were using didn't pull from our supply that the city is is giving us? But even if there's no shed, could we look at a project that even constructs like a small arbor with a top that would hold sedum, and actually have, I guess, eaves trough, so we can catch the rain and actually use it as an educational conversation? Because
Yeah.
I know we're getting into more outdoor education. Most of these community gardens are in proximity to schools, or could be a place for field trips. And so bringing people to the outdoors, could we start using water? And the city through Mona has been doing the rain barrel sales for years. So it would be great to see, or even show people how you can set up multiple rain barrels. But if we could even make water a bit more accessible by putting something like that in proximity, and already inviting bees and other pollinators close to where we've got our, well, I think I'm right beside you, Darcy, if you're back in the
Yeah.
garden this year.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So maybe that could be some type of partnership approach that wouldn't cost too much, but we could have different groups come in and do the maybe construction, even with a bench, because sometimes we don't even have shade where
Yeah.
people can sit and take a water break. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
that's an option, but
Well,
if
you know,
sheds are something that, depending on how they're built and the construction and the weight on top of them,
yeah.
what about just a wooden frame with a sedum box up top, or we could add to it and have different examples with rain barrels hooked up?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, for sure. Actually, if you wanted to, I could drop this book off to you and you could take a look, because there is a fair bit of, well, it depends on how long you want your building to last or how long you expect it to last. But yeah, it'll give you some insight into what's involved. So if you, I don't know, where can I drop this off? If you have time.
I'll email you and we'll arrange it, or I'll come out. But I was
Okay.
wondering about how could, if that's an interest, where do we move that type of idea to get something that would align, that maybe meets the interest of parks, forestry, horticulture, sustainability? Is there a good place to launch those ideas, or would it be through this committee, Mona and Jason? What are your thoughts about, would that be something that could be well received? Or where could we get support for such an idea, even if it's to start as a concept area? Maybe it's Sunnydale by the Arboretum, maybe it's by the greenhouses, maybe it's one of our community gardens like Lampman Lane, where they've been doing a lot of activities there. Is there a site that would fit, and then we could maybe showcase it next year, if not this year, in Communities in Bloom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like, a prototype, just to, even like a mini house, sort of thing, right? Kind of deck it out and start there and just see, how successful and that it would be. And yeah, I think it's a great opportunity, and it would be beneficial to go under the umbrella of Communities in Bloom, I think.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if that would take anything, I know some committees ask for funding. I'm not sure what we get as a committee to support Communities in Bloom, but I guess I'll leave it there and say, do we need any funds that we would have to ask for through council for some supplies and or for staff support?
Let me have a conversation, and then and then I can get back to you, Anne Marie. How's that?
That
Is
sounds
that
good.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Let me have that conversation. Just see what would maybe move forward, because it'd be a cool idea, I think.
I think so too, because I know we've shopped around the bus stop, and I guess this brings me back to the other idea is, how do we proceed with that, and maybe reframe how we think about the intention that we wanted to do and what bus stops could have provided, but probably is not practical based on the information we have and where we are. But I wanted to see, Jason, because you were noting your background and interest, and I don't want to miss an opportunity not to hear from you because we haven't asked you a particular question, but do you see anything else through your experience or any other ideas we could be leveraging for Communities in Bloom that you think is innovative or aligns to some of the programming you're doing?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything right now, but it definitely got the wheels moving. So,
Awesome.
And I love coming up with ideas. So, I'll definitely think about it, because maybe there's something with our new terminal, I know in the new terminal, there's a large island that's going to be in the middle. That's going to be all green space. So something there. I'd always love to see a garden or something that spells something like you see in other
Mhm.
places, like
Carpet beds, yeah, carpet beds,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll definitely think about it. We're right now in the middle of our bus stop infrastructure plan, and we're looking at how we're going to basically improve our bus stop infrastructure at all our bus stops throughout the city. And so as we're working through that process, I'll keep this in mind and see if there's anything that we can do to improve our green space for sure.
that's awesome. And then I had one last comment, and it was more just while Jason might be joining Umona with the judges in conversation, and I know there's different themes in the category of the Year of the Garden, and not sure what you might pick to highlight more formally, but if there's a visit to a particular bus stop to showcase the solar panels, I mean, do you want us to identify when we could plant or do some plantings around if that's appropriate, or see if there's a way we can add a bit to that from a beautification or add a planter? I'm not sure what's possible or what kind of timeline there is, but I didn't know if it was more just looking at the solar panel on the bus stop, or should we kind of look at that and add to it a little bit where appropriate.
Would you have one in mind, Jason? I'm thinking, because often, like there's a bus shelter close to an area where there is opportunity like to have access to water, especially if it's further outside of our usual perimeters. If maybe you could, think about that, Jason, and one that you'd say, hey, you know what, why don't, we can pretty it up and, ideally with pollinators, of course, if possible, and, and just see how well it's received, I guess, start on a small scale and move forward on that if we get some positive comments.
I can definitely recommend one. There's a solar paneled shelter that we installed adjacent to the transit terminal on Maple. So
Okay.
right across kind of kitty corner to Heritage Park. But it's within 20, 30 feet of the terminal. So I'm sure there could be water supply from the terminal in some way, shape, or form. But it's a city facility as well. So that's my first thought is, and it's downtown, right? It's a little more,
Right.
so
a little bit more
a little more optical, more optics and that type of thing. So we had added another platform because we needed more platform space for our buses at the terminal. So we added a platform 13. I don't know if you want to be an unlucky number platform, but
I believe in my own luck, Jason. I believe in my own luck.
But so that to help our riders to be sheltered because they're not adjacent to the building, we added this shelter adjacent to Maple and at that platform 13, and it's got a solar panel. So
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I'd be happy to go and have a look at it if any one of you would like to join me. I think that that's a great opportunity, especially being there in the forefront. So many people in that there utilize the transit terminal. That might be a good place to start.
Yeah. And is there even any signage? Like I went right from the, you take things for granted, and then you start walking just through, your own pathways.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't pay attention to what's going on around you. But I thought, is there even a sign if we could add a garden planter even, or activate that green space? But even to say, hey, look up, did you know there's a solar panel? Did you know the city was doing this? Would be kind of cool, because often people stop for flowers, but they might not even have known that the panel.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so there's the panel.
Oh,
Here's the shelter. This is the terminal building. Right on Maple. This is the platform 13 I was mentioning. There's a water source, hydrant, but lots of green space. You can even add a garden in here if you wanted, So this is I would think, and it's right at the waterfront.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And
That's right.
Jason,
That's
does
what I
a
would
solar,
pick.
does a solar panel only feed the grid to the light that's on in that station at night? Is that it's that the electrical source?
Yeah, so it powers a interior light, as well as, you can't really see it, but there's a little dot there. That's a USB port. So you can charge your phone or device as well. So
Oh,
so
I
it,
know,
it does two functionalities. It provides light and provides charge for
hmm.
your phone if you're running out of power. So
That'd be really cool to showcase, I think.
Yep,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely super. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Jason, I'm going to just say one thing. Often they forget about, the horticulture or having, the city having their own greenhouses. So we're kind of like the city's best kept secret, but I don't know. I think you're really, really close. In the
I
next
agree.
best kept secret.
yeah, well,
No,
like I said, it's hard to get me to stop talking about transit. So
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. No, I'm impressed, actually. Thank you.
Yeah,
No
that's
problem.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. I should hang out more in bus stops.
Yeah.
You'll
My
never go.
phone's been dying at moments and I'm running around and all I needed was a bus stop.
and luckily, no one knows who I am, so I'm able to take the bus fairly freely. But when they do find out, I don't get anywhere fast.
Aw, no, that's good.
Yeah, excellent.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. That's a really cool, if we could do a spotlight on like efficiency, transit, like environmental climate action lens and
Sure.
Like a whole
A garden.
package.
all
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Because it certainly falls within the Communities in Bloom
Mhm.
overall umbrella, that's for sure.
And with
Yeah.
gas.
Oh, yeah, with the price of gas, yeah. We'll all be taking transit anyway, so.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thanks.
Yeah, at that location, I guess we deal with facilities. They could help out with anything you wanted to do on site. Wade LeBlanc is our.
No, wait, very well. Okay.
Yeah.
I have his number and speed dial, so we should be good. Yeah, that's good.
You have everybody on speed dial, don't you, Mona?
Especially yours, Carl.
Yeah, right. I don't even have a phone.
Oh, that's why you never return my calls.
It's her
No,
fault. She
that's
won't let me
good.
have one.
Mhm.
Okay, well, do we have any other questions or Jason, if you want to make any more comments there, we can let you go there. We only have couple more items on the agenda here, but didn't want to hold you up if you're the main chef and have to get home and cook.
I just have to get home or I have to go pick up the kids. So,
Okay.
so appreciate your time and
Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you
Yeah,
very much.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
no problem.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks,
Yeah, you're gonna
Jason.
get busier. The more we know about you, Jason, and what you're gonna do, you might as well enjoy your summer now because we're coming for you.
Right. Thank you.
So,
Okay.
Jason, I'll reach out to you if that's okay, once we figure out, like the routes and in our itinerary and that for the judges then. And
Okay,
if you can just, if it's like I'm thinking like the 27th, which would be the Wednesday of July. If you could maybe check your calendar and then we can, just work your agenda into it.
Yeah, I'm currently empty on that day, so I'm available that day. So yeah, let me know.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
This
No
is
problem.
exciting.
Yep, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Oh, we've done.
trying to find my agenda here again. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, Anne-Marie, you were mentioning about Darlene, we were talking about the garden sheds and stuff. When we had the gardens up at Sunnydale, they actually did have two sheds up there, not just metal sheds, where there was nothing fancy about them. But we were able to install eaves trough on those and feed them back down into a great big cistern, big, huge plastic cistern, and everybody was able to use the water from there then.
I'm gonna that'd be great because I could just see the benefit of just catching the rain and kind of repurpose it, using it deliberately for gardening. And I think it would be a great spotlight for people that seem to have been really wanting to support rain barrels, but I even find like I would get 4 if I could figure out how to connect them. And
Yeah.
even just have an area where you can demonstrate how it is and people can kind of look it out and see the parts. And
Yeah, we,
even I'm impressed at how much it collects so quickly.
Mhm.
oh, it's amazing. We have 3-barrel setup at the house and it works really well. Each one barrel is on 2 or 3 concrete blocks and the next one's just a step or 2 down from that with a hose connecting it near the top and down at the bottom, and each one has a tap. And it's amazing. One really, really good rainfall will fill 3 of these rain barrels that are about 4 feet high.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just amazing how much you can capture.
I say we do it.
I say we do it too.
Okay, we move on now then to item 2.2, Communities in Bloom events and information and updates. If anybody has any information and updates.
Only that I've been trying to push the Communities in Bloom registration, at least on my social media networks. And Mona, I saw some really good media news releases about activities. I think you've got some great ones coming up. Do you have enough support for what you're doing for tomorrow? I'm going to be away tomorrow, but I can try and leave late and help you if you need help.
Yeah, so what it is that it's from 10 to 11, and it was an opportunity that to showcase, like kind of like last year's Hope Garden, and Amar Lewis, the artist in that, and to promote, like the very, like the Arts Council and that too as well. But also an opportunity in that to promote Communities in Bloom up there by the garden, because of course we took the lead on that, and along with some great other staff and community members. And there's an opportunity to I thought, gosh, why don't we just take them through? I can have staff member, take them through, and because a lot of people don't even know that the Arboretum, when you say Arboretum, they're not even sure where it is. And another best kept secret. It's well used. So it's excuse me. So it's an opportunity to kind of bundle a few things all in one. And unfortunately, like we just have about an hour and a half if it runs a little later. And I thought we could have a Communities in Bloom table there just to promote it and registration and whatnot too. So yeah. I don't know how many will show up. I know that our communications department has been working on that and always, of course, doing a great job. So, and if it's a nice day, you never know.
It will be nice. And I know that you're also doing the farmers markets, right? And I saw that they're doing, I'm not sure if you've seen this, but they've got the advertisement that the Barrie Farmers Market goes mobile. So there's June 30th and the 21st, I guess. Well, June 30th would be the only date before the registration closes, but they're also at Heritage Park from 1 to 5 p.m.
On which day?
On June 30th, which is a Saturday. Oh, sorry, that's July. Which is a Thursday.
And I'm sorry, is that July you said, or June?
June.
Or
June
June
30th.
30th.
The rest are July, August, and September dates, so they wouldn't work for our deadline on the, but
course.
maybe if we had people June 30th at Heritage Park 1 to 5 on a Thursday, we might catch more people coming out to that.
Yeah, what is June 30th? Well, that's the day before.
Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, Thursday before Canada Day, I think.
Yeah.
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
And that's the day incidentally for the rest of the citizens. That's when our Barrie taxes are due that day.
I don't see it, Carl. I just roll it into my mortgage.
Yeah, I personally would not be able to attend that day. Unfortunately, I do have a commitment. But if there would be, something that we could, other members of the CIB committee in that would be interested in, then certainly that's something that we could definitely arrange.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I know I'm actually, I've got a conflict, I can't make it, but I can also see if a member of the committee can't be there, I might know a member of the farmers market that might take our pamphlets for us and help to showcase that.
Okay.
Yeah. I can even see if I can get some students to do it for student hours.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, and we could get them, like a write-up about Communities in Bloom, and yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we could probably maybe as a committee, if we let you know then by So I don't know, maybe next Tuesday, that would be enough lead time. That's the 21st. Just how many people would be available from the committee to be actually at that event?
Yeah, do we have to get special permission? Or are we okay just to kind of mosey in there and
Hey, it would just be whatever the farmer's
I'm
market.
assuming it's
rules and
fine for us
regulations
just to
are.
kind of be present and kind of meeting people as they're coming into that space.
Yeah, I think, I can check and just see, what, if there's any, I just can't see it, it's a city initiative, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah, 'cause we've been at the farmer's market itself before in the past, so. I can't see
definitely,
it
yeah,
really
for
being
sure.
An issue, but,
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, Simone, if you could just check on that as an issue, and then if maybe we could get back, I guess maybe by next Tuesday or so, if everybody can figure out if they've got availability for the following, it'd be a week Thursday, on the Thursday there, but.
Emery, sorry, do you have a contact, or is that something that you would want to do?
I'm gonna be away, but I saw it come through, but if a member of the committee is not available, I can try and find a contact. But I didn't want to miss the opportunity for us to have our maybe pamphlets there for people to fill out and leave, like Dorothy and I and
Yeah,
Carl and
absolutely.
Darlene did.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's for June the 30th. It's the same.
30th.
1
And
to 3 or 1 to
1 to
5 at Heritage
1 to
Park.
5? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I am definitely not in town then.
No, that's
Um,
okay.
Okay.
But I also didn't know if it's worth it to give some to members of the BIA. So
I have a conversation tomorrow with the BIA, and
good.
yeah, so definitely that's something that I could arrange to drop off.
okay, awesome. And then if handy at all, I can pick them up, but I could take them to the Wednesday event that's happening at the East Bayfield Community Park, because there might be members of other committees. And then maybe even if we've got a lot printed and it's not going to be a waste, maybe we could see if it would be appropriate to give them to the teachers for that grade 3 class to take home.
Oh yeah, like a class, yeah, for sure. No,
Yeah, because it's got the little bloomers component in it too, but maybe we could make sure they could take that with their seed bombs home.
yeah. Okay, sure. Do you want to give me a shout there, or just send me an email on that? Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah,
See-
and I can come and pick them up on Monday if that works, or
Yeah.
Monday or Tuesday
And that's the one that's at 11, is it 11 o'clock?
at 11 o'clock. Yeah.
Wednesday, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
And if I get to say a few words, I'll talk about how we're going to register that space for Communities in Bloom. And then I'll also let people know that I've got registration forms and we want to see more spotlight like this, art and gardens and native plants and just how people are engaging with
Perfect.
nature in their gardens.
Perfect. Okay.
good. Okay. Does anybody else have any other
How are we
information?
doing? Do you have a sense of we've got a pretty decent number of people registered, or are we concerned about that? Do we need to put a push on, or?
Okay, as of yesterday, we have 81.
Is that typical for this time of year in the process?
It's still, still a bit early in that, right? So, but yeah, I'm happy with that thus far because, I receive a lot of extra calls and that there about it, and ones that we haven't, like that we'll be contacting because we'll be going out to do, photos. We're going to make arrangements and that to go and do photos in that next week.
Oh, that's great.
It'd probably be Wednesday to Friday and whatnots. But if there's anyone that wishes to help us out with that, then that would be appreciated as well.
Sign me up. My Wednesday is really good. My Tuesday is almost completely open during the day, and then my Wednesday is pretty good. So if you need any photos taken, just give me a list and I can go do that Tuesday if that's not too soon, but I can fit some in on Wednesday.
Okay, it would probably be Wednesday only because we have a couple projects and that on the go. So it would probably be Wednesday. We would make phone calls and that on the Tuesday, and then arrange if you can give me like some times, or whoever would like to go out and take some photos of the registrations, the registrants. That would
The
be great.
register- And what is you're talking this coming Wednesday,
Yeah,
22nd?
22nd.
of June?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So I'll give you my 1 to 4 PM. I'll go after the event. And then I can give you a list of all the ones that I got and get them into you.
Okay, perfect.
It
Okay.
works.
Okay, and sorry, I'm just missing here. On Wednesday, what is the time that you were looking for, Mona?
On the Wednesday, it would be, so what I want to do, it depends on when, people not will be home and they would like, of course, to be there,
Sure.
of course. But we're going to make calls in that on Tuesday, all day. And then
Right.
we'll set up, for Wednesday, Thursday, and, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get some photos taken.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, that's, okay. Yeah, we can let you know if we're available. We're probably more available in the morning than we would
Okay.
be any other time, because we've got
Sure,
the
yeah.
kids, we're babysitting the kids that whole week.
Yeah.
That starts at about 2.
No, that would be appreciated, for sure.
Okay. Was there any other items?
There is, okay, so unfortunately, one of the judges from PEI is unable to do judging this year. So yesterday I received the name and that of the other judge and that will be coming to
Okay.
to visit us.
Yep.
And his name is Anthony O'Neill, and he is actually the CNLA, which is the Canadian National Landscape Association. And he's the president of that in North Saanich in British Columbia. And so he will be joining Martin Quinn.
North Sandwich. Okay,
Yes.
very good.
And what I will do is I will forward maybe a copy of these to Brandy, and then Brandy, would you mind sending them all out to everyone, or you want me to just include them, whatever's easiest for you?
Yeah, no, I can forward that. Anything you send me, I can forward along, no problem.
Okay, all right, just that's one package there and whatnot.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody else have any comments? Items they want to talk about briefly, or?
Well, as previously discussed, I don't have a sample here because we're just in the midst of it, but we want to be environmentally friendly with the chloroplast and the wire signage, et cetera, and stuff and that. So we did come up with a bit of a game plan. It's not quite ready to showcase, we'll say, but we do have something a little bit. Hopefully, you think of it as being creative, and we'll be showcasing that shortly. Actually,
This is for public looking at, or?
it would actually be for our instead of the signs in the gardens, it's going to be something else that will for this year, being year of the garden. What will be the way that they can showcase that they're a proud participant this
Okay.
year in the Communities and Bloom program.
Giving us a teaser, anything we can guess on?
No, just kidding. I would show you one. It's just that I'm in my office and it's out in the greenhouses there, so it's taking me a little bit to get there. But yeah, you know what? Actually, tomorrow on that we're going to try and just have one just on the table at the event tomorrow. So yeah,
Okay,
Hmm,
sounds good.
I know, gets the wheels turning.
Intriguing.
I like
What's
this.
that?
Now, I know it's maybe not part of the Communities in Bloom, but it certainly should be, did we make any progress, Brandy, with employment? In terms of if everybody sent their recommendations onwards to the people.
You're on
Oh, you're on
mute.
mute.
There we go,
There
that
you go.
works.
Okay, you're back.
Has the meeting concluded at all? Do you want me to stop
Yes,
recording?
yes, we should probably stop the
All right.
meeting, and thank you, everybody, for attending. And
Thank you.
we will meet again.